come on. 2 minutes to go. Right, let's see if this works. Have I done this right? Step 1, press the on button. You'd think I'd remember how to do this after sorting David's lights opposite. I just sorted them for him yesterday. Lovely neighbour. Used to live there with his wife, Glenys. Such a nice lady. When my mum and dad first moved onto this street, Glenys would see my mum sat by the window missing home sometimes. She'd try and wave, but my mum would be cautious. She didn't really know anyone yet, and she felt too shy to go over, wondering who this white woman was waving at her like the Queen. Well, Glenys wouldn't have it. One day, she walked over with a baby spider plant in her hand, knocked on the door, and the rest was history. So many days I'd regularly run over the road, with pakora for them one day, biryani the next. Glenys, in turn, would help my mum get from one place to another, showing her around the area and buying her Battenberg cakes when she went shopping. Dad would tinker away at David's car if he ever banged it somewhere, which David did do often, until he got some glasses. And later, he would force my dad out for walks after his bypass. Step 2, set the timer function. Set to 5:45 p.m. Sure, that's what I set it to yesterday. Nearly done, nearly there. Time is one of those things though, isn't it? You just can't control it, and you lose sight of it when you're loved. You're so happy through your friendships and relationships that time kind of just dissolves. You're right there, enjoying the present, like gifts. Until you're not. Because things happen. Our fates are written. And God decides one day, just like that, he wants your mum and dad back. We belong to him, and to him we'll return. You have no hand in the matter. They died 4 days apart from each other. March time. They were so close as a couple. They did everything together. It made sense it would happen this way. I was blessed to be with Mum at the end, but Dad was on his own. And that was so hard to accept. You think that wound will never heal. I don't feel it ever will. But over time, I'm learning. It's where the light gets in. Like Rumi said, no matter what, your heart just has to break and break until it opens. That's the process. And when it does finally open, and the days seem lighter, you realize David might not make it without Glenys. Her cough started in April, then fever, like Mum and Dad. She was taken into hospital, but David wasn't allowed to visit her on the ward. He didn't even get to see her. Middle of April, she was gone. 71 years they were married. 71 years. He said they never felt time passing. When I'd gone over, we both cried on his doorstep under the soft hue of the lamplight. Me stood outside on the pavement, him half hidden in the shadow of his doorway. I couldn't hug him. Both of us crying. He kept wiping his eyes with his handkerchief and asking, "What am I supposed to do now? I've never been without her." So I keep an eye on him. I don't celebrate Christmas. We never did. But there's a roast in my oven, nearly ready, chicken, not turkey, with Yorkshire puddings and roast potatoes for 2. Gravy, no sprouts. David said they'll make him fart. His table is wide enough for 2 of us to eat, and at least if we're together, for once I guess, we can imagine the other seats aren't empty. I'll be going over soon. But first, I've told him to sit by the window for 5:45 p.m. so he can wait for the surprise. And when he does, he'll wave. 3, 2, 1. And we have light.